Welcome back, friends, to The Lucky Die. Previously, Lafian recalls a memory he would rather not remember. Rhal looks for Hargo, Squash reconnects with a dead friend, and Zaltanna feels vindication. In the town by the vortex, they look for dead allies, and after a quick warning, they find the mysterious Mistress Vex, a dead blast from Squash's past. As a result of their bargaining of information, they learn about the task to come, and Vex seeks Galdrimather's dagger on their behalf. How dangerous is the town for the not dead? Was the anti-warlock dagger really meant for Dajin? Or did Squash's parents have someone else in mind? I guess we're about to find out. Welcome back to The Lucky Die.
You find yourself in Mistress Vex's house. She has just left, saying that she will go find Galdrimather's dagger from the Sea Witch, who is just outside the town that you find yourselves in. What do y'all want to do? A refresher on what the room looks like. You're currently sat around a table. On the table there is kind of like this dish or a basin that has this thick purple fluid in it that she was looking at when y'all came in. There's a couple of cabinets around and drawers and such like. It's not wonderfully well lit, and it is in a shady part of town. Yeah, that's where you find yourselves right now. What do y'all want to do?
Well, first I just want to ask, is there any chance Squash knows what that purple liquid is?
Is it perhaps liquid from a well of seeing things that may perhaps are in the realm of the living?
Is it grape juice? Grape juice is my favorite.
Yeah, Rhal, go ahead. Go drink it.
Oh my god, don't do that. That's not a wise choice.
Slurp.
Argue a check for me.
This sounds magical in nature, so I'm gonna argue Arcana. I think there's a chance that Squash, I know that I've been playing Squash as kind of interested in magic recently, and I think there's definitely a chance that he may have heard or read about this somewhere. Now, his interest in magic is 20 days old, so...
Yeah, but he's a quick study. And you're not entirely new to magic. You would have known about it from your various dealings in the past, like bits of this and bits of that. Mm-hmm. And you did pick the brains of a very powerful sorceress for like a good few days. Roll an Arcana check at disadvantage for me.
All right. Disadvantage.
And Arch, argue yourself a roll.
Myself a roll?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that depends. I don't know how to argue a roll if I'm right on this or not.
Okay. What would you think that you would use to figure out what this is?
If I wanted to learn the properties from a magical sense arcana, from a more material-esque side investigation?
Do you know, I think also arcana for you then. Since like Lafian might have a suspicion on what this is. This would definitely be magic-based, so yeah, let's do an Arcana at disadvantage as well.
Okay.
So, I rolled with a disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
And I rolled a 20 and a 16.
Fuck you.
So, Arcana 24.
Lafian?
I got a 15. That would have been a 30, but...
Yeah, this is definitely magical in nature.
It's magic.
Yeah, I mean, you can have your suspicions, but the purple fluid means nothing to you, Lafian. You have no idea what this may or may not be. Like, it's magic. It probably is used for some sort of scrying or communication or, I mean, hell, she may even just be using it as a dope mirror. You're not 100% sure, but it's somewhere in that magical realm. Squash.
It's Welch's scrying potion.
Go ahead, Rhal. Go drink it.
Oh my god.
You have a precedence for it. You've touched things you shouldn't have in the past. Go ahead.
Squash, yes, you would probably guess from what this mixture is. Looking at it, the way that it kind of glowed very subtly as she stopped using it. Yeah, this is definitely using some sort of communication magic, but exactly how to, whether it's on this plane only, which is not... Most communication and teleportation happens on the same plane that you are, so doing it cross-planar is a little bit more difficult. Maybe this is what this is, but this is communication, but you don't know with what, who, or why. At least not without you guys actually picking it up, exploring it, turning it over, drinking it, that kind of stuff.
Can I make an educated guess if it is still active? Meaning that whoever is on the other side
it's
can still
not
hear.
active.
All right. Then I think Squash is going to do a quick one-over of the area we're in, and I might even throw down a detect magic to see if we're being watched.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Blinded by the light starts playing. The entire room. Everything.
Every person that you're looking at is going to be covered in magic. You know that, right?
I know. I'm looking for hidden sensors, basically.
Okay, yep.
And I'm just going to throw down a detect magic, so I should be able to at least sense magical elements unless they are specifically hidden. Otherwise.
Are you doing this as a ritual or are you casting it as a spell?
Casting it. It's a level 1. It's not a huge loss.
And as is tradition with trying to find sensors and magical things, can you also roll an Arcana check? And that will determine to what level spell you should be able to see.
27. So level 27.
So 17 level magic. Fuck you. Zaltanna is magic as fuck. You look at her and she is covered in bright god magic as the brightest red, the gnarliest black, the kind of brightest holy energy you can just see completely covering her. A little bit of miasma on the floor going on. It is beginning to grow in intensity. Rhal. With detect magic, you'd see this too. Rhal is covered in this very dark energy, and when he turns his head in a certain way, you can see on the back of his neck this kind of purplish greenish color, which is kind of a rune, and it really reminds you of the deity of death. Lafian is a little less magical.
Thanks.
He has fey magic in him, his ancestry. He's nowhere near as brightly glowing as everybody, and no one is nearly brightly glowing as Zaltanna in this room. He has a little bit of magic about him, but not a whole lot. Looking at yourself, all sorts of weird things are happening and changing all over your body, especially the runes that you have written on the backs of your arms to remind yourself how to cast. Mm-hmm. You can tell that the receptacle for this purple fluid is also magical in and of itself. It has a very low hum of, the various communication magics that you would have. You also know that in one of the cabinets off to the left-hand side of you, as you're sitting at the table, in one of the drawers, there is this heavy... I have to give you the schools, don't I? Fuck. I hate schools. Why can't I just tell you what it is? As you look at this cabinet nearby, you can see that in one of the drawers there is heavy indications that there is divination magic in there. It is quite strong. You don't see or sense any sensors. There's nothing actively looking at you. Mm-hmm. But yeah, looking off to one side, there is definitely something divination in there. In the bottom of the receptacle for the purple fluids, the purple fluid itself isn't magical, but you would probably know by this point is a catalyst for something. Mm-hmm. And at the bottom of the dish, there is also some sort of divination magic that is separate from the receptacle itself.
Yeah. All right.
That's what you sense.
Okay. Squash just kind of like shields his eyes from goes from Zaltanna to Rhal to Lafian. It's like, oh, think I can actually look at people. Then he just kind of like looks around, and then he's going to gesture to the cabinet and just say, like, there's something heavily magical in that cabinet over there, but it is divination magic, which is like prediction magic, and it's how would you describe divination?
You would also use divination when you scry.
It's looked like, it's sensors, it's looking. So I don't know, maybe a bad idea to touch that. It may be a trap or a trigger that lets other people know that it's been fucked with. But I think we're basically in the clear. I don't think we're being watched right now. So if you guys want to talk about anything more sensitive, I think we should be fine.
Remind me, V, so I recall, because me Arch doesn't remember. Were we waiting for this for Fex, right? That's who we're talking to?
Yep.
Were we waiting for Fex to come back? Or
she just said she'd go get it. Mm-hmm. I don't think you'll actually arrange to either wait here for her. She didn't indicate exactly how long it would take from her description outside of town, so that could take anywhere from like a couple of hours to maybe a day or more. Like you hadn't made a specific plan for that, but she said she would get it to you somehow if you guys weren't here when she got back.
I mean, it's not like we're hard to find. We're kind of alive.
Yeah.
I think
kind of a big deal.
I think the intention was to get our butts to Horka.
Say again?
Hagen. Hagen?
Hagen, not Horka. Hagen.
What did you just say, Aethor?
Horka.
What is that?
That is not a thing, just like Hagen isn't a thing.
Hagen is a type of ice cream.
Yeah, Häagen-Dazs, right?
Manufacturer of ice cream.
Häagen-Dazs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly that. Neil named it. It's not my
and
fault.
And a horka,
I know.
horka is when a whale throws up.
Horka. Yeah.
Horking orca.
Oh my
Thank
god.
you. I will be here all
Okay.
Yeah, like you hadn't made any solid plans. She had said definitely or definitely not. So
I'm of the opinion that we just get moving then. We're kind of short on time with things, and honestly, the sooner that we're out of Bellum, the better.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of weird looks from people compared to when we were in Cicero. I like that place better.
I think we just also should be hurrying back before Demi and all of them initiate their plan to try to save Damas. So, yeah, I agree.
Zaltanna, just a thought, actually, after that whole conversation. Could you perhaps ask Calinmourn if maybe Common is not quite fully digested yet? Maybe we can get some information, do a little interrogation.
so I don't really know how this thing works with the eating the souls, but like the Common, who I think was probably the last soul I fed you. No, that can't possibly be right. But it's that one lady.
I feel like it's right. I feel like that's correct.
But I feel like it's have I not killed anybody since Common?
You barely killed anyone.
Nope, we've been very runny recently. We've killed some animals, monsters, basically,
and they don't count. Yeah,
I gotta get my numbers back up.
Yes.
Rookie numbers.
Rookie numbers. Okay. Common, the last person that I fed you. So Common's a girl, right?
Yeah.
I always forget.
Yeah, she's a dwarven female.
So so her soul, is it like fully digested? Is it like in the middle of the digestive process? Is there a way we can kind of like borrow it. It feels like really gross asking you this, and I wouldn't usually, but we kind of have a reason to potentially need to borrow the soul. Well, you hear everything I hear.
It takes time for me to digest something like this. She is partially available. I do not know how you would be able to speak with her.
Do we know anyone who can perform a seance, maybe, or?
Actually, do. There's a beautiful, beautiful gnome called Trevor who often performs Speak with Dead rituals.
Oh, boy.
Yes! Trevor. My favorite character.
Trevor MVP.
Yeah, you would know Trevor who can do various Speak with Dead things. You also have the spell that would release Calinmourn from this, but you'd have to also get the same ingredients to free her from this as well, if that's the route you were going to take. Otherwise, yeah, Speak with Dead may be your best bet.
No, I want to do a seance. I think we should have a fun, spooky episode and do a seance. So, oh, you know what? I bet Trevor can do something like that. Hey, Lafian.
Yes.
So her soul's not fully absorbed. It's still partially there, and we could probably speak with it. But we got to figure out. Cal doesn't know how we would, but I had this thought that we could get Trevor to do Speak with the Dead.
Wouldn't that also be your domain as a paladin?
I'm okay, but I'm a paladin of bloody vengeance.
I feel like taunting the dead falls within that domain.
I'm not. I mean, I'm gonna take Cal off my back, hold him in my both hands, and just go, "Hey, Common, you suck. What you gonna do about it? You're dead."
It's still just me.
Well, I tried. I did. I gave it the old college,
yeah, the old temple try.
The old temple try.
He says,
I will cease absorbing her. She will perhaps be less filled with anguish and screaming when you speak with her in the future then.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all for the anguish and screaming. But I think that might be a lot for Lafian and Squash. I don't know. I don't think it would be too much for Rhal, because he was an underground fighter, and I'm sure he's seen a lot of anguish and screaming. But the other two, I worry.
Yes, they do not relish in that music the same as we.
Yeah.
That's what you have.
If it comes down to it, just because I don't know how easily we'll have access to Trevor, when all is said and done here anyways, I could always try to do one of those, the past reads. See if perhaps I can tap into that and just get a general glimpse, maybe see if I can get some info, but I do think Trevor is a good idea for certain.
Yeah, I do have those sometimes. I got thoughts. I think some thoughts sometimes.
You have been known to have thoughts.
Fuck me. Am I going to have to start tracking where Trevor is in the world at various times?
Trevor is the hidden fifth part of the...
Fourth part? Who are we dropping?
Me.
Though.
I love how it's his least favorite thing that he can do, but we just keep bugging him to do it.
All right, so, okay, now I need to give Trevor, real backstories and a motivation and a story arc. Oh, you poor bastards.
Bonus
all right,
episodes.
I have Trevor on lock. Okay, yes. we can, if you find someone, we'll figure out how to get hold of Trevor. It's fine. We got it. Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to do here?
I want to snoop, but I don't have a good reason to other than I want to snoop. It's killing me.
You Squash would Squash snoop.
It's your friend.
Squash would have snooped back in the day, but then I met up as a rational people who follow like good ideas and follow through on plans. And now I'm not allowed to snoop anymore.
Who the fuck are you talking about?
Who the fuck?
You assholes! I want to use Dragon Leaf Sap to blow up Dacian and the Blissful Eclipse, but no, we have to give it to Debbie.
Okay, listen. I feel like there is a very clear difference between blowing someone up and snooping around a house. I just want to put that out there. I think there's a really big difference between those two things.
Also, you didn't really know a whole lot about all the magic stuff at the time, right?
Okay, we're past it.
You give the best weapons to the best fighter type thing, you know?
Yeah.
I think Squash is inching his way towards the heavy divination shelf.
You mean while the conversation is going on, Squash is like one step at a time.
Yeah. like this is a rumor monger. They might know some stuff we might want to know.
Make a stealth check, please. Right. You're gonna beat whatever it is.
In that case, you may take a perception check, please.
Yeah. Let me do a normal stealth check.
I guess I also need to make a perception check. Hang on.
Never mind.
It's 28 on a stealth.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, damn.
I was going to crack the joke that Lafian wouldn't care anyways, because...
By the way, can we not get into a fight? I've been rolling really, really high, and I have a feeling as soon as we get into a fight, it's gonna tank.
Probably.
I can only hope, fingers crossed. Yeah, you get there undetected.
I think Squash is just, like, quietly gonna, like, pull open the divination shelf. And before he does so, he does look around for triggers, traps, and whatnot.
Take an investigation check, please.
All right. I am good at those. 23.
Okay. I'm going to say, for the sake of your colleagues, that they are, a good portion of the room away, so they won't be affected by what's about to happen to you.
Oh boy.
You pull the drawer open, and what you see inside is a small box with the lid slightly ajar, so you can kind of, without too much bother, you're about to peek in there and see what's in there, but we'll get to that in a second. And you see what looks like a piece of parchment with some writing on it that look like directions, like step 1, do this, step 2, do that. It'd be bullet points if they were. And their little box is sitting on top of that. The box is what's giving off that divination aura. Sorry, the items in the box are what's giving off the divination aura. Looking at the scroll, I also missed one little thing. There's also a tiny little vial of what looks like that same purple goopy liquid. That's not giving off a magical order. You can see by just glancing over the kind of parchment that's in this drawer, it basically is a how-to to do what she wanted to do with this, which is put the item linked to the person into the bowl, pour on the fluids, incant these phrases, and you should be able to communicate with this person as if you're on the same plane of existence. Inside the box, you can see that there are 3 small round onyx pins.
Do the onyx pins have any kind of religious semblance to them, or are they all identical?
They're all identical.
Holy shit. Yeah, Squash at this point is just gonna go like, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the onyx pins that were like a hotline to the Blissful Eclipse?
Right. Yeah.
Now, I'm no scholar of religious stuff, but I think she may have 3 of those.
Can I take a look?
Please. I'm inviting more people to come here right now because I'm now scared.
Okay.
I am now scared that this person is going to slap us in the back super hard.
I go take a look.
You see a small vial of purple fluid. You see a scroll that, unless you read Halfling normally, you won't be able to read. And you see a small box with the lid slightly ajar, and you can see 3 small round onyx pins in there.
Do they look like the pins that we've seen others carry?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Is the liquid, the purple liquid, is it translucent or opaque?
It's getting closer to being opaque. You can still see through, but everything through it's heavily obscured.
Can I look in the bowl on the table to see if there's perhaps a pin in the bottom of that one?
Yeah, you rock over there. It's kind of a little bit more fluid in this. You would have to pour it out a little bit, but yes. But you can see that the onyx pin in the bottom of that is beginning to dissolve and break apart. But yes.
Okay. I propose that the 4 of us very quickly leave and get as far away from here as possible.
You think she's been communicating with the blissful eclipse?
There is one of those pins in the bottom of this bowl, and I'm going to assume there is some sort of divine something happening here, and I don't want to stick around to find out what, especially if Daichin decides to show up here.
Do we know how to destroy these pins? Can we destroy them like a normal pin, or because
magical items are usually a bit harder to destroy?
Yeah, actually, they're really difficult to destroy. You're one of the very few people on the planet that has managed to destroy something magical of this nature, and that was at Nat 20, and that was also releasing your paladin from his crystal prison the first time round.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did do that.
Yeah, it is actually notoriously difficult to break magic items. It is like god level shit to break them. But saying that, looking in the bottom of this dish, in the bottom of this bowl, you can see that whatever this potion is, whatever the effect of the magic that happened is, that onyx pin is beginning to break apart.
Can I just pick it up and crush it in my big, giant, meaty paws?
The one that's already disintegrating, yeah. Like
yeah,
you can reach into the fluid. It doesn't affect your hand at all. You pull it out and yeah, you could turn it into like a fine, like black sand, like very easily.
The thing that makes this a big issue is that if we take care of the issue, it comes back. We can't kill her. If we figure out anything, we have to get Hagen to maybe imprison her.
Then I would suggest we leave and go report in as quickly as possible.
How do we know that she's with them still? Maybe she's spying.
I don't know what exactly her intentions are, but I looked over the place and there were no like spying utilities here. So I don't know. There's a small part of me that is hoping that this is a massive misunderstanding. Squash is going to pick up the piece of paper and read over it. It just says, like, pour liquid.
Yeah, it's basically like put item of the person you're trying to contact in the receptacle, pour the fluid on, cast this spell, and you should be able to communicate with that person no matter what plane of existence they're on. It doesn't specify for how long, it doesn't specify how, whether it's verbal or a message or just a picture, like it doesn't specify. You would assume she would know what the results are. This is just a step-by-step plus what the actual magic is.
Okay, so I technically have this scroll that belonged to her like 5 minutes ago, but I think that's a big old technicality. I don't think that's going to count. But
is that big enough of an answer?
Yeah. But this may be, I don't know why, but do we want to talk to the Blissful Eclipse?
No.
What?
No.
Squash.
Nope.
Buddy.
My heart stopped for like a second, like, oh my god, I don't know if this is a good or a bad idea.
Remember how the other day we were having a conversation about, like, sometimes ideas are really bad?
I feel like that has come up a lot recently. Yes. Okay. So I'll drop the idea of talking to the blissful eclipse. Whatever's put in there seems to be destroyed, though. Like the onyx pin is like broken. So I don't know if that means that it's been used a lot or using this destroys the item.
I'm going to say with your newfound magical knowledge, this might be like the component. This might be the spell component.
Yeah, it absorbs it.
It's the cost of the magic is an important item to the person or an item belonging to the person you wish to communicate with.
Only thing I could suggest is that we take those pins, throw them into the stalking plane, and then we leave.
I need the bowl to do the spell. This bowl itself is magic, right?
Yeah.
Fudge.
You can pick up the bowl and take it with you. It's only tiny. Just
I'm thinking I'm gonna chuck the vial of liquid, the pins, and the bowl in my bag of holding.
Yeah,
we have an emergency contact somebody whose item we have.
Yeah. I mean, she's clearly super sketch. I mean, she has pins. It's probably okay to steal from her, but she also might have a good reason for having them.
See, there's a gut feeling that I have that this is a massive misunderstanding.
No.
Like,
I think this is a V wants you to think that there's a massive misunderstanding because it's actually mind games that you would think that that's not the case, so that you would think it's the case.
We have to confront her before we leave, though. We have no choice now.
It's like when you watch a kids program and you're like, oh, this is like a subversion. This is not going to be the bad. Oh, that is the bad guy? Okay. We're just watching Scooby-Doo now. All right. Squash is going to grab the liquid, the pins, and the bolt. The disc. I don't know what you called it.
So there's a potion vial. There was the box with the pins in it. There was the scroll, which didn't tell you what the effects were, just that it will allow you to communicate, and the bowl. You can take those very easily.
Yeah. I'm just going to put that in my bag of holding.
Yes, please make a note.
I'm going to. Now, real quick. No, Squash is going to say this out loud. Sorry. Aren't these onyx pins, like, also just... they exist to connect with the gods of our world? I remember hearing that somewhere.
The way I understand it is it depends on who it's connected to, but these ones in particular look like the ones we've been seeing already.
Okay, yeah. All right, then let me just take these things, and in the bag they go. All right, let's go see Haggins.
Yes, let's go somewhere very public with lots of witnesses.
That are also prone to killing you.
And perhaps, maybe, this Hagen person will be more amicable to not letting us get our throat slit.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be mad.
All right, let me see.
Okay. You get your shits, you steal the shits, and you leave.
What's her name again?
My name is V.
No, her. Not
Fex.
yours. Fex, thank you.
You steal your shit, you leave. Tio is happily just kind of like waiting outside. He's caught the gist that you want to go find Hagen. And he kind of leads you there. It's about an hour and a half, 2-ish hours from where you are to actually getting around most of this vortex. A lot of people kind of side-eye you, like there's clearly something about you. They're giving you like a wide berth. Some of them just openly stop and just turn their entire bodies to watch as you walk across the road. And you see all sorts of people and creatures around. They seem very interested in you. Yeah.
Telepathically to Squash, Lafian says, I suggest that we both keep an eye out for tails.
Ooh, good point. Yeah, Squash just looks over and gives him like a nod.
And we do that.
Yeah.
I would like the pair of you to please make perception checks.
Thank you.
There's lots of things with tails here. If you don't have a tail and you want one, you can come here, and then maybe you get one.
I do not want Lafian with a tail.
Tyr like wiggles his tail as he goes, like, yeah, and flaps his wings as he's gliding through. All right, what did you both get?
22.
24.
Fuck you.
Yes,
I love you too,
there
Vic.
is somebody scrying. There is somebody following you.
Oh, that
You
kind of tail.
see this...
Sorry.
You see... I was like, do I give this creature a tail now? God fucking damn it.
Have to.
You see this fawn-like creature that seems to be following you. They're doing really good job of it. They are sticking to the shadows. They are giving you room. You see them suddenly like disappearing, and they'll pop ahead of you a little bit and like interact with somebody nearby. They do the thing where they also stare and look at you as you go by, so they can blend with. They're doing a good job, but you've seen this person way too frequently over the last 2 hours for this to be a coincidence. Yeah, it's a small fawn-like creature. They have 4 eyes, however, and they are kind of like a dark purplish color, with like hints of red dancing inside of it. You can see that their hooves are kind of mottled green, as if someone's put like poison ivy over the top of it. But there's no poison ivy there; just that's how it looks. Yeah. You realize that this person's been following you probably for an hour at that point.
Yeah, I'm assuming Squash like can pick up that Lafian has also found the person. So, like in the middle of a conversation, like it's just Squash is gonna be talking about something like, "Oh, have you noticed how many people have hooves around here? And should we do something about it?" It's like.
No, I don't know how we could really do much about that. I mean, there's people here that also have 4 eyes, but we can't exactly do anything about that.
Good point. So we're just gonna let it be.
That's called wearing glasses?
I love the idea of Zaltanna.
Every single one of us look at Aethel, the outsider with 2 eyes.
Nerds.
Zoltana's like, listen,
Yeah,
you can't bully nerds anymore. It's not the 880s.
It's what are we up to? 120 days past the.
You are at about 4 o'clock in the morning on day 129.
Oh my god! It's day 129 of the new calendar. Get with the times. You can't bully nerds
The
anymore.
new calendar hasn't started yet. You don't know it's a new calendar yet.
I'm sorry. I'm
It's
sorry.
Day 129 past the blissful eclipse starting. Get with the time. I cannot fucking hold my accent tonight. I'm gonna go die now.
You got it.
You gotta
You do not sound like you're doing a Jersey You sound like you're like a mechanical buster that's ran out of fucking battery.
This fawn is also like 12 feet high. Its hoof is about the size of Squash.
Oh, no.
Did I forget to mention that?
Oh
Wait, hold on. I thought she said this was a little thing.
Okay, so...
Yeah.
Okay, so
Back
what did
topic.
you say, Aethor?
So we're just, I think I said like, yeah, so there's nothing we can do about it. We're just going to let it be, or are we going to take are we going to try to avoid it?
That is entirely up to you. This is more your area of expertise.
I'm going to, how dangerous do I think this thing is?
I believe only you can determine that. I mean, it's
Actually,
a fawn-looking creature with 4 eyes and mottled hooves in Bellum.
Yeah. That does sound
Like,
dangerous. Sounds like it's halfway to spider.
It's halfway to being loth. Like, I don't know what you want from me. It's up to you.
Yeah, Squash is gonna just go like, yeah, there's nothing we really can do about it, is there? And just keep an eye out for the thing. And if I see any weapons, that's like really what I'm watching out for now. Weapons, spell components, or any kind of aggressive actions.
If you're doing this covertly,
Mhm.
take an investigation check at disadvantage.
All right. Your disadvantage does nothing to me because investigation is one of my good skills. 23.
Damn it. Fuck. As this creature's beginning to follow you, you notice that it's noticed you, noticing you. You notice that its teeth are kind of silver-coloured, perhaps even metal, and they seem to be kind of jagged and sharp. You notice that the hooves, as they move across grounds, like if there is dirt on the ground, it's not just like stone of the ground, that the dirt itself has kind of been corrupted and burnt behind it as it moves. Its weapons are based in its physicality.
Oh. So it's like a Rhal, but worse.
There's no acid.
No, it's fire instead.
Oh. All right. All right. Yeah, I think. Ooh. Now, it's already noticed that I noticed it, so trying to lure it into a trap at this point is kind of moot. Like, it's not going to follow us down a dank alley.
It might do.
Squash is kind of just quietly, like, over to Lafian, like, do we want to just go somewhere secluded and see if it wants to talk to us, or if it keeps its distance? I'm pretty sure they know we know at this point. I think I may have stared a little bit too hard.
Suppose we could.
I mean, if it wants to approach and talk, we can. And if it wants to fight, Squash looks at Zaltanna, Rhal, Lafian. Like, I think we can take them.
Yeah. We totally can.
I love that you don't know who we're talking about. You're just like, yeah, yeah, I can.
Wait, yeah, no.
We can fuck everything up.
Zaltanna doesn't need to know. Zaltanna just needs to know there's a fight about to happen.
Oh, I love Zaltanna. Yay or nay on the plan?
I'm all good for it. We'll need to find somewhere to be going.
Yeah, that's fairly easy. Like you can just walk past like different alleyways, and some of them open up fairly wide, as if like there's supposed to be carts passing through it. Here and there about, you'll find like some overturned crates and boxes and stuff. Like it was public enough that people can see if you're about to be attacked, but it's also like not enough traffic through that if you wanted to have a conversation, you'd be immediately overheard, unless there are more sneaky things like this fawn.
Yeah.
Telepathically to Rhal.
Yeah.
Lafian's going to say,
What?
we're being tailed. We're going to see about trying to have a conversation or fight. If you could perhaps have Tio maybe fly up a bit higher and see if we have any other company that might be joining us.
Yeah. Rhal goes into Tio, and we kind of watch from above.
Okie dokie. Make a perception check, please. As Tio.
Come on, Tio.
We believe in you, Tio.
Tio rolled a 19.
Looking around, you don't see anyone else that seems to be following y'all when you'll make the diversion to go like sit down or stop or obviously wait for this person.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see anybody else that seems to be moving in a pattern. You don't see the fawn-like creature like meeting up with anybody else or anything like that. Yeah, you don't believe that there's anybody else. It won't account for invisible people. But otherwise, yeah, you don't think there's anybody else.
Okay.
That's a good point. I put on my monocle.
Fantastic. You see only what you see without your monocle.
Okay.
There is no invisible people here.
It's a good point that you made, so I wanted to cover my bases.
Yes, there may or may not be invisible creatures meandering around. Right now around you, there isn't.
We are in literal, metaphorical, sort of in between hell, so...
Yeah, kind of hell. Yeah, nobody's following. There doesn't seem to be anybody around. The fawn-like creature, they kind of stop when they realize that you've stopped, and then it's probably not a couple of minutes before they realize that you're just waiting for them. And you see them like shrug their kind of their back set of shoulders and just like walk over to you. And they just kind of stand nearby. They're from their demeanor, do you think they're probably just waiting? They realize they've been rumbled pretty hard.
Do they seem like they're waiting for backup or waiting for us to do the talking first?
Yeah, like the fawn is clearly just waiting for an interaction. They're close enough to y'all now that you can see that their fur, their pelt is quite thick. There's like a lot of it. It's quite long. And those of you with slightly keener eyes, you can see that kind of at the shoulder joints, you can see that there are kind of like small hands in those kind of areas, but they're mostly hidden by the fur. But you're aware that they're there.
Yeah. Is Zaltanna our intimidation expert?
Yeah.
I am.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Squash is just going to lean over to Zaltanna and just like, if you just ask them if they have a message for us, and if not, tell them to fuck off. That might be really, like, that might work.
I could do that. I'm gonna walk over to the fawn.
Mm-hmm. It looks at you. It just stares. All four eyes just kind of blink at you.
Hey, what's your fucking deal?
Perfect.
Pay to follow you? It kind of like, again, like shrugs with its like back two shoulders.
Cool. How many arms and legs this guy got?
So like kind of the fawn thing, so it has like 4 legs, and they have little hooves at the end of each, and it has like, now that you're really close to it, you can definitely see that at the shoulder joints for each of the legs, there are like these kind of like tiny little hands there. Think Bambi, except really, really woolly, and it has like hands hidden amongst the wall with the shoulder joints.
Is it walking on all 4 like Bambi would?
Yep.
How many hands does it have hidden?
Total 4.
You up close 4, yeah.
4 extra hands.
Yes. Yeah. And 4 eyes.
So it has a hand hidden on every foot.
And it's very fluffy.
Yeah,
so,
super fluffy.
What's your name?
Oh, is this technically like a spider?
Yes. He's got 4 eyes, 8 hand legs.
Hand legs.
4 hand legs. Has 4 hand foot leggers.
Things are taking a scary turn for this guy. That's rough.
Sir, you can call me Moss.
That's a good name.
Well,
Thanks.
I'm not gonna. So listen. Who paid you to follow us? Morris?
Moss.
That's what I said. I said what I said.
My boss paid me.
Cool. Who's that?
Take an intimidation roll. And I'm going to verse it versus their boss's intimidation roll. Oh, damn. This is going to be tough.
So 22.
Ooh. I hope your fake spider ass was prepared.
More than my current life is worth telling you.
That's too bad there, Maurice. Because, you see, your current life is about to end if you keep following me. You see what I'm saying? Do you comprehend me there, pal?
All right, Zally. Let's have it like this. I will keep a respectful distance, but you can't stop me from walking wherever I want to stop. This is a mostly free bellum, and I can walk wherever I want to walk, and I can hoof over whatever I want to hoof over, and I can be near whatever I want to be near.
Yeah,
but you don't pay me, my boss does.
You'd think that.
And they'll pay me even if you kill me, because I'll just report right back to them. In fact, I think I might even be way closer to them if you kill me right now, to give them back the news of exactly where you are and what you're doing.
Oh, wait. Oh, Oh my God! Wait a minute. Hold on.
Because I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm telling you, I know exactly what I'm going to do.
I just had a thought, though, Casey. I had a thought. We're in one of the afterlives, right? So this dude is a soul. This dude ain't gonna be reborn if he fucking gets stabbed with Calinmourn. There is no coming back at that point then, right? Like, I'm not crazy on this, right?
I don't know about that, but what I do know is that he can't follow us if he doesn't have his eyes. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to threaten to take his eyes.
Okay, we went two very different directions.
Straight up murder to not quite murder.
I can't believe that we went... I went the murder route, and you didn't. Wait a minute.
Zaltanna's gone the bloody route. Okay, can you roll an intimidation for me?
Zaltanna has become has gone from being a bad person to a good person to maybe not the best person again. I got a 22 again. Zaltanna is gonna be like, sure, you might I don't want to send you back to your boss, but I have other ways of making sure you don't see what we're doing.
I appreciate what you're saying, Pally. Zally, my bad. I appreciate what you're saying. I'll give you some room.
Why don't you take us to them?
Nope. We have a job, Neil. We have a job, Rob.
We also have people trying to interfere with that.
You want me to take you to my boss? And you see, they kind of lean around Zaltanna to look at Rhal.
If it's important enough for us to know who might find us of interest. And Rhal looks at everyone else.
I mean, I'd sure like to know who your boss is.
Well, I appreciate having eyes.
Yeah, you got a lot of them. It would be a shame to lose one. Make your face uneven.
Yeah, I'll lose all my depth perception. It will suck. I don't want to lose that.
And that's only with just one.
She's gone out of town. You met with her earlier.
You know, why don't you do us all a favor, including yourself, and just tell her that you lost us in the crowd out here. Yeah?
She's not gonna like that.
Yeah, but
We can also just send him to the vortex, and she'll believe that.
Wait, whoa, no! I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want another eye or another set of hands. No. I'll.
Can I get an?
How about? Yeah. Sure.
Can I get an aura check on whether or not this person seems like they're legitimately, just following orders, or do they seem in on what's going on, sort of thing?
Yeah, of course.
Can I focus in on one more particular, even though I'm not good at it? Was he lying about facts? Was he just he followed us there and he just threw that name out because we were threatened to cut
Oh,
his
you
eye?
read, he didn't actually, he also didn't mention her name.
Yeah.
He just said you met her earlier. Yeah, you can absolutely roll a insight on that too.
Yeah.
What's the most amount of hands anyone has had?
That might be a question for Hagen or Annette, or one of them. So what'd your folks get on your insights?
17.
14.
On a 14, you can't be sure.
Mm-hmm.
On a 17, he seems like he's legitimately just following orders, but not questioning them. He doesn't appear to be smoozing you for information, which you would expect for someone in on the plan. He seems generally just trying to do his damn job. The bigger picture is not available to him.
Okay. All right.
How about I just stick with you, and when you're done, I'll go back and report to Fex about, what is obvious knowledge, and he kind of like indicates around at the passers-by that occasionally just are still looking at you, but not really listening in on your conversation. What is obvious knowledge? That way I don't lose my eyes, Xander, and I get to keep my current existence, and my boss don't straight up murder me. Or worse.
You said your name was Moss, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can call me Moss, yeah.
Moss, well, pleasure to make your acquaintance, even if the circumstances are very peculiar. I have a genuine question for you. Are you remotely aware of everything that's going on currently with the planes and the guards, and in particular the things that your boss is doing that may or may not be involved in any of those things I just mentioned? Or is that more of a you don't get paid to...
I don't get paid to think or ask. I just get paid to use my senses and bewitch and steal on occasion if I have to. I do what I've got to for the mistress. You don't pay me to think too hard, but it doesn't mean I don't see or hear what she's up to on occasion. Yeah, I know she's got a sweet deal going with someone. Feeds them information. She gets information and power back, that sort of thing. Typical trade of a rumour monger.
Are you aware of whom or what she's making a deal with?
I don't speak Elvish.
Right. Elvish. That certainly explains a lot. Don't suppose she ever dropped a name? Might begin with the letter D?
Damaz? It's the only D name I've ever heard her mention.
She may have been in on the plan to capture him.
How do you know that name?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she mentioned it. Like, blah, 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 Elvish, sorry, Elvish, damn it, Elvish, it's the sort of thing.
That is what Elvish sounds like.
Right.
I realised I couldn't use my own accent because that would make no sense.
Because you're actually British.
Yeah.
In real life.
IRL, I'm British.
I'm wondering whether or not I should tell him. Do you think I should tell him? He's looking at the rest of the group. Do I burst the bubble? He seems like a decent enough guy. He's just trying to make a living. I don't want there to be any guilt, He's intentionally being vague. He's making like
you can see the fawn is just like literally like they're turning. Moss is turning his head between each of you as you speak like a tennis match.
I mean, it would be cruel to let him go about his day with only half the information.
Yeah, give me the other half.
No, don't give him any information. What fun would that be?
No, what do you mean guilt? I don't want to live with guilt. I died with guilt. I'm living a perfectly guilt-free afterlife. Thank you very much. What?
I don't know though. I mean, he was just following us. What if he ends up just spilling all of the beans? We don't really have any guarantee that he's not just gonna rat us out, and then we're gonna have to deal with that whole thing.
Yeah, but what could it... You guys already told her pretty much everything. I have no idea what we could possibly get into that Vex is not already expecting. Except for literally this conversation right now being the weird thing.
You never know.
Well, she was very interested on when you'd be going back, when you disappear from our plane of existence, where you were exactly. I was going to send her messages and sendings at the end of every couple of hours just to let her know where you was, and utmost important emergency as soon as you... What guilt? As I said, guilt-free afterlife. One thing I try to have in mind. What?
Does he seem like he's being honest about that?
Yeah.
Squash is just going to look to Lafian like, I think this might actually work really much in our favor if he just keeps feeding her the information, like the basic information, not the more important.
Or perhaps false information if we tell him.
I wouldn't want to sacrifice his well-being.
Well,
No, I don't want to die again. No, that would suck. But like,
If Fex is...
can you stop talking about what the bloody hell are you on about?
do we
Calm
want
down.
just? Do we want to? I guess.
No, I am not going to calm down.
Okay, all right, Moss. All right, listen, you actually seem like a decent enough fellow, just trying to make a living in the
Thank you very
after
much.
living.
Yeah.
Okay, so the shortened version of it is you're indirectly working for the entity that is trying to destroy all of existence.
Maybe.
No, pretty much everything you just said
95%.
confirmed it. Just about, I'd say more like 99. The shortened version is that your boss has been in communication with the avatar of the creepy space monster entity thing that is trying to wipe out all of existence, including the afterlives.
You see, like, their ears prick up and they suddenly become, like, a little bit taller as if they're paying attention. Like, no. Fex wouldn't do that. I mean, Fex is a complete asshat, but, like, Fex would do that. No.
But
But then again...
Can I just tell you, out of character for a second, that Zaltanna did not understand what you were getting at and thought you were trying to play mind games.
I was
Vaughn.
playing mind games,
They
but
were.
in an intentional manner to make sure that this dude is like on the up and up with this and not just a piece of shit.
Zaltanna didn't think there was any real information that you wanted to give him and that we were just trying to fuck with him, that we had information. Which also is, I did not catch on either, but that what you were trying to do. So I was also like, oh yeah, this seems right. Like, let's just fuck with this
No, you
Vaughn.
played into it perfectly. You did your job. Thank you.
Okay, good.
You intimidated him into listening to you.
I appreciate that me Arch apparently has these mind powers too.
Once again, Zaltanna's just like on board. Doesn't matter what's going on. We're gonna fuck somebody
Zaltanna
up?
is the-
Yeah. I'm fucking with
Zaltanna
somebody.
is the best friend.
Zaltanna's a ride or die. All of your
Yep.
friends. Okay, sorry. Anyway, I just wanted to say that because that was so funny. You started spouting out that actual information, and I literally was like about to start like dying of laughter at my own like inability to catch on to what was happening.
Now, if I was to take a guess, Moss, your boss probably did not anticipate us either catching you or actually telling you the things that we've learned. I tell you this in good faith because you seem like the kind of person that likes existing.
Oh yeah. I very much appreciate. I very much appreciate having an afterlife. Much better than one of the alternatives. I'm all on board with this. So super sure that Fex is working for this avatar thing.
We have evidence, solid evidence that for your own sake, I don't think it best if we show it. Because while you seem honest enough, I also don't want to lay all our cards on the table and then it be that you turn around and stab us in the back and then we have nothing.
Well, no, I get that, but I also don't want to piss her off if she's not actually a bad person. I mean, she has paid me well. I might need a little bit of proof that she's working for the what do you call it, Sky Monster?
Well, do you have a name of someone who she's been talking to other than someone mentioning Damas?
Well, she spoke a lot in Elvish, and she's mentioned all of your names at least once.
Of course.
She mentioned Ama, but Ama is kind of a big deal around here, so, like, that's understandable.
Okay.
I heard Ama's name really recently.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I've heard them mention Helsif and a lot about where you guys were and what you were travelling to.
Since we arrived in
I don't
Dublin,
really
or
speak.
before.
No. Wait. Way before. Like, surely after, like, she kicked the bucket and joined in here and then she died a few times. Like, after that, like, we're talking, like, years here, mate. We're not talking, like, a couple of days. Like, we're talking a while. they mentioned a balance, and a balance became a Lafian or something like that. And Rhal's name, Rhal, Jacques, and Aimer's name came up a bit. Squash, always interested in where you were, but I think that was more personal than anything else. I don't know. I don't want to get into it. Yeah, like she's mentioned a bit. Like there was Damaz, Helsif, Beligbud. They mentioned something about Faustum and Chatvok. I don't know. There's been a bit.
It
I mean,
fits with what we've heard or what we've been doing. It sounds like Vex has been a second set of ears and eyes for Dachin, who is a weird manifestation of the blissful eclipse, they're called.
Do we want to show him the evidence?
I've got something big, if she is evil, that I could tell you. Something she's about to go do. But I need to know that she actually is evil. I just have your word for it right now. Okay. I've got nothing.
Do you know how gods contact the physical planes?
Yeah, through like avatars and stuff, yeah. And prayer.
Yeah. There's also physical manifestation of it that isn't alive, and they're called onyx pins. Ever heard of these before?
They shake their head, but they do kind of like eye over your rings, which are made of onyx.
No, these are different, but similar in a weird way. Squash realizes that these things are super fucking valuable, and like, what am I doing wearing this out in the open? You guys have ruined me. So I don't know how else to explain it, but she had onyx pins that are dedicated to the blissful eclipse, which in itself is kind of like a god entity.
Right.
And was using a magical bowl and some concoction to be able to communicate with Dachin, which is the manifestation of the blissful eclipse.
Unfortunately, we, of course, took all these things away from her so she could not report back. So we can't exactly go to her house and point to the things where they are, because they are currently in my bag.
Can you make a persuasion roll, please?
Ah, God damn it, why am I talking?
Because you're Aethel.
I mean, we were both communicating.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I will allow an advantage.
Meaning that arch rolls?
Fine.
I led the conversation.
Yes, you did.
Yes, that's fine.
Sorry,
yes.
I just butted in because
Squash was back up.
26. Whew, that was a 19 on the dice.
I mean, makes sense. You know, I mean, she did get them in a bit of a roundabout way. Like she had someone from the material plane deliver to her, and they had a bit of a chat.
Whoa.
They fucked off again.
Wait, you saw these pins get delivered?
Oh, I saw like this box thing, and I know she's been using them for some like the ritual to talk to different people, or the Dachin? Yeah, Dachin, that guy.
Dickhead.
Dachin.
Yes, lame chin, that one.
There you go.
So there we go, nailed it. Yeah, there was someone that delivered a box that they've been using to do the scrying thing.
Was it, what is Coleman, a female dwarf?
Yes.
Was it a female dwarf?
Yeah.
Yep, that's Dachin's shit, all right.
Yeah. Now,
funny how we knew that without you telling us, huh?
Yeah. So she's fucked off outside of town
right.
to go find this sea witch thing. Gonna pick up a dagger and take it to a contact.
Deliver it to my back.
This person. Yeah. Like she's gonna hop through one of the shimmers near the witch's house, get in a material plane, and go take it to this person she's talking to.
Oh, come on. No. I swear. Okay, like
you know
getting agitated.
That warlock dagger thing that you were talking to her about.
Okay, no, like Squash is getting agitated at this point. Like, okay, Moss.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give you this one warning. One warning. the four of us were wrapped up in a lot of important things. And the four of us, when all of this is over and we've done kicking the Blissful Eclipse's ass, we're all going to have a lot of different creepy magical powers. And if you're lying to me, I will cast a favor for every single one of them to make sure that your afterlife becomes the worst version of everything.
Can you roll an intimidation check?
Jesus Christ.
With advantage, I think that's fair.
I'm so proud of that.
I have a god on my side. I can guarantee it.
I have the power of God and anime on
Aethor. And with advantage, I rolled a 9 on my intimidation.
They kind of...
Can I help by standing behind him menacingly?
Yes, but you can just roll a straight, normal intimidation check, no advantage for
The
you.
power of God.
Arms crossed, just flexing the muscles, the veins are popping
Like
out.
standing above, Squash, arms folded above, like where his head is, he doesn't even realise.
A 21.
There.
Okay. The Moss kind of like takes a few steps forward and he looks up at Zaltanna, looks a little bit nervous. And like he would lay a hand on your shoulder, but his hands are quite short, so there's no way that's happening. But you get the feeling he's trying to like comfort you and he's like, no, I'm not fucking with you.
Where are these sea witches? We need to get there.
The sea witch is outside of town.
I need more directions because we need to get there now.
North. I mean,
I'm sorry, guys. I know we need to do this, but we have to stop her. She's gonna take that thing straight to Dajin, and they're gonna stab Debbie with it.
I could message her, and they look kind of like uncomfortable, I guess. Like, could I? I could message her. I could message her and warn your friend. If from the sounds of it, you lot are here to get the, army and whatnot, and that's like super important. You've got to get that done, but otherwise I could round up some friends and get you to the Sea Witch, or I could warn your friend. I mean, fuck Vex. I mean, and again, they look up at Zaltanna and look a little bit nervous. Whatever you need.
We need either way for Hagen to know so that he can help us get her when she comes back here.
That's assuming if she comes back here.
She's not coming back, Rhal. She's taking the
When we
knife
kill her.
into the first...
If you kill her and she comes back, then we need Hagen to know to catch her. Otherwise, she just get out and do this shit again.
I understand. No,
Tio kind of like lands like patiently on your shoulder and just like starts playing with your horn with his tail.
I don't know if you can actually talk to Hagen. I don't know what to do.
They lay their tail down and he kind of like lays on your shoulder a little bit sadly, like, oh.
Oh.
I mean, I could go and delay her. I mean, there's enough of us. Is this really that important?
Yes.
Super powerful magical artifact in the hands of our worst enemies while we're trying to save the world. Yeah. Pretty important. Your sendings. Is it you cast a spell, or do you have scrolls, or...
Oh, I can cast it, pal. No worries.
Delay her? We go tell Hagen.
I feel like delay would be good. Tell Hagen. I feel like we should also get a warning to Demi, because this is...
Yeah, I have a scroll of sending. I can get that to her.
Don't we need that to make sure that we have a way back home, though? Isn't that our one call
Moss.
back?
Shimmer.
Yeah.
Where is it? Do you know how to use it?
Yeah, you kind of just have to like jump at it at the right angle at the right time, and then you're in the material plane. It's one of kind of the slightly bigger shimmers here.
That sounds very risky, Squash. We also don't know where we're going to come out.
True.
No idea, mate. Never been through it. I don't want to risk, losing my mind completely. I can get people together. and we can go delay her, and you can go tell your friend Hagen, and we can pick you up.
So, if I'm understanding it correctly, Fex has now been traveling for probably close to 2 hours, maybe an hour, in an opposite direction, probably hustling because she wants to get this knife and get it to Dajin fast. We have a very time-sensitive mission of gathering the armies and getting back. I think delay and we just try to bum rush our way through this gauntlet.
I do think it would be a good idea if we can try to get a message to Demi somehow. Worst case scenario, at least she's warned. Best case scenario, we take care of everything, but at least she's aware that this was a thing that might have happened.
Yeah.
Maybe she can intercept it somehow.
Sending spells usually are what's the term? Fuckable. Non-fuckable like that.
Yeah.
Well, no, like detect when Vex goes into the, material plane.
You might be able to ask around. I mean, Hagen might know, or Annette might know exactly where the material plane comes out.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, let me,
This Sea Witch,
Yeah.
are they on good terms with Fex, or is this more of a, like, Fex is going to have to pay something sort of thing?
Oh, the Sea Witch hates everyone.
can you send her a sending? The Sea Witch?
They look like.
So yes, but not something desirable.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
I'm just thinking, telling the Sea Witch that Fex is coming to rob it.
Yeah, I could do that. I mean, that's a flyby message that they probably won't send anything horrible back my way. I mean, that sounds. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. You see all four of their eyes flash over purple, and then they kind of return back to that dark purple with red specks in there. And Moss just like nods a little bit, like, "All right, well, I'll let him know."
How'd that go?
Well, I haven't got any mental anguish, and I'm not covered in pox marks. I'm not covered in boils, I think. Yeah, maybe.
I'm going to take a shot in the dark here and say that this Sea Witch that you're talking about is probably a hag of some sort.
Oh, yeah, but I wouldn't let them hear you say that. But yeah.
I should hope they can't hear me all the way over here, and if they can, I would hope that they heard the rest of the conversation before this, but...
Just apologize.
Yeah.
Just apologize, Lafian.
My apologies. A wonderful, fantastic, and quite charming Sea Witch, I'm sure.
Yeah. You're lovely. Yeah, top notch. Oh my god, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, I think, Moss, if you can get people together, do I have anything?
I'll get some people together. I move somewhat quicker than your average horse. Yeah, I'll get people together. I know the right people that can track this down. I guess good luck if you're not planning on catching up.
1 second, sorry.
You guys told Fex a lot of shit.
Yeah. So before he started gushing about Fex's bullshit, I was like, we're falling into like a double trap. Like Fex has fucked us, and now this guy's gonna fuck us on top of that. I was so afraid that's what was going on.
He wouldn't have told us.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Squash is gonna go into his bag and he's gonna give the guy like 5 of his rations. Bikron rations, meaning human food. And just like, I know this isn't much. It's something. Just if you can gather people, somebody to like slow down Fex. I know some people will only work for money. They don't care about causes. We don't have anything. We're running quite low.
Moss kind of like taps forward and he kind of like lays his head on your shoulder, like it's as close to a hug as he can give you. And he says, and then as he pulls back, he says, "No, I appreciate the thought, but No, this is too important for things like rations. Let your thanks be us having an afterlife, all right?
The best we can do. Please be careful. I just traded with Vex a poison, and it is very potent.
Oh,
oh yeah, you did do that, huh?
Those nails of hers do a lot of shit, so I'll go get my people together and we'll slow her down. You do what you need to do.
Just have somebody in front that is immune to poison.
Their hands underneath, they give you thumbs up as well. And Mosh just basically turns around and just runs. As he begins running, you realize he's getting faster and faster and basically becomes a blur and just disappears out of view. We got Calinmourn back! Yay! I think it's been nearly 100 episodes. And I just want to say thank you to Rethix, who literally did this in less than a week. Don't worry, I have always sent messages backwards and forwards to Rethix to check in on him and see how he's doing. But yeah, we got to listen to Calinmourn again. Woohoo! So yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed that a lot. Yeah. I want to say thank you to one of our newer patrons, Thessie. Thank you so much for becoming a patron. Because of folks and support like you, we were able to have backup gear in case of failure. So thank you so much, Thessie. Also, talking about patrons, I want to say thank you to Twiglets Are Great for the name Moss Brightwalker. One of the kind of fun little creatures that we made, and I really like them. You're also about to hear an ad for a podcast called Quiet Please. That should be playing after this other little call to action I have. And the reason I want to put this in right here is because it's a little time sensitive. There's a Kickstarter that is coming up for another podcast. They do a bunch of things outside of the podcast, and it's called The Marginal Worlds Magic Item Deck. This Kickstarter should be running through all of June, so go check it out. I'm going to put descriptions down below. But essentially what they do is the Kickstarter is for about 50 system agnostic magic items with easy to play descriptions. They have cursed items, they have sentient items, maybe kind of like Calinmourn. And they basically base all of them on old, like, original medieval manuscripts, like descriptions, how they might be implemented. They kind of, like, use them in almost any, like, system, but they have also made them compatible with D&D 5e. There's optional play items with them, and the cards they have, apart from also including, like, some of the original manuscripts and, like, how to find them and what they are, they also have the most gorgeous, like, hand-illustrated art. It is genuinely beautiful. But it's only going around for, like, all of June, so go check out the links and go support them. All right, folks, thank you all so much, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Quiet Please Originals, a new series of original audio dramas in the style of Willis Cooper's Quiet Please.
I'm just the man from 1985 who built the world's first time machine and took it 37 years into the future. Nothing interesting there.
Do you remember the little house on the edge of Mount Wilson? The house that had nothing inside it?
There's something elemental about it. Primal. The raw power of nature over technology. It strips us back to our roots.
I wonder if any of us could know everything. If only we could be as supremely arrogant as you, Mr. Afternoon.
I don't know.
Huh.
Available at quietplease.org/originals.